10 minutes have left, and I will not wait anymore. Yes, my child, I have waited enough to gain your attention, and until you will realize your true purpose, you will keep on losing the chances that I placed before you with so much patience and mercy. Hear me carefully now, not with fear, but with understanding, because these words are not meant to crush you, they are meant to awaken you. I am not speaking because I enjoy watching you struggle. I am speaking because time has been stretched longer than you realize, and grace has already done its quiet work behind the scenes. You think you are running out of time, but the truth is, I have been extending time for your sake, again and again, while you kept postponing obedience, assuming tomorrow would always arrive the same way yesterday did. My child, you keep asking me for clarity, yet you avoid the silence where clarity is formed. You keep asking me for direction, yet you resist the discipline that direction requires. You say you want to know your purpose, but you keep chasing distractions that temporarily soothe your emotions while draining your spirit. I did not create you to merely survive days and collect moments of comfort. I created you to carry weight, to steward responsibility, and to walk with awareness of who you are and whose you are. You have mistaken my patience for my approval. Just because I did not stop you immediately does not mean I agreed with the path you chose. I watched you hesitate at crossroads where obedience was clear but costly. I watched you delay decisions you knew you needed to make. I watched you compromise your convictions for acceptance, and then wonder why peace became rare in your heart. I did not abandon you in those moments, but I will not rewrite the consequences of choices you refuse to confront. Understand this clearly. Every season you waste is a season that could have trained you, matured you, and positioned you. Nothing is ever truly wasted when you walk with me, but delay always demands a price. You feel the frustration, the inner restlessness, the sense that something is missing, because deep within you know you were meant for more than what you are settling for. That discomfort is not confusion. It is conviction knocking at the door of your will. I have spoken to you through gentle warnings, through repeated patterns, through doors that refused to open no matter how hard you pushed. I have spoken through people you did not expect, through interruptions that felt inconvenient, and through moments where everything slowed down so you would finally listen. Yet you kept interpreting my restraint as rejection, and my correction as punishment. That misunderstanding has kept you stuck longer than necessary. My child, purpose is not discovered by waiting for a perfect moment. Purpose is revealed when obedience meets timing. You want me to reveal the entire path before you take the first step, but faith does not work that way. If I showed you everything at once, you would rely on your understanding instead of my voice. That is why I give you light for the next step, not the next 10 years. You are not behind because you are incapable. You are behind because you hesitated when courage was required. You paused when obedience demanded speed. You overanalyzed when trust was enough. I am not saying this to accuse you. I am saying this to realign you. Guilt will not move you forward, but truth will. Listen carefully now. The chances you keep losing are not random. They are connected to assignments you were meant to accept, conversations you were meant to initiate, habits you were meant to break, and disciplines you were meant to embrace. Every time you say later to what I said now, momentum is delayed. And momentum matters more than you realize in this hour. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be willing. I am not asking you to know everything. I am asking you to trust me enough to move even when you feel unsure. You keep waiting until fear disappears, but fear does not disappear before obedience. It dissolves after obedience. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move while fear is still present. You wonder why doors keep closing. Some doors closed to protect you, but others closed because you arrived too late. That is a hard truth, but it is not meant to destroy your hope. I am the God who opens new doors when old ones shut, but I will not lie to you by pretending timing does not matter. It does. Seasons shift, people move, opportunities pass, and assignments change form when delayed too long. Still, hear this clearly, it is not over for you. I am not finished with you. I am not withdrawing my hand, but I am shifting the way I deal with you. I will no longer carry you where you were meant to walk. I will no longer repeat the same lesson until you feel comfortable. Comfort has kept you immature. Responsibility will grow you. You keep asking me to remove pressure, but pressure is what produces clarity in you. Without pressure, you drift. Without urgency, you procrastinate. Without resistance, you remain untrained. I know your frame. I know how you respond. That is why this moment feels intense. It is not because I am angry with you. It is because I am serious about you. You were never meant to live reacting to life. You were meant to live responding to my voice. Reaction is emotional. Response is intentional. When you react, you exhaust yourself. When you respond, you align yourself. I am calling you out of emotional living into intentional obedience. Stop asking me to confirm what I have already spoken. You already know what you need to do. You already know what you need to do. You already know what needs to change. You already know which relationship is draining you, which habit is dulling your discernment, which delay is costing you growth. You are not confused. You are conflicted. And conflict is resolved by decision, not prayer alone. Prayer without obedience becomes an escape. You keep praying for peace while refusing to confront what steals your peace. You keep praying for growth while avoiding discipline. You keep praying for favor while neglecting faithfulness in small things. I hear your prayers, but I respond to alignment. My child, you do not lack potential. You lack consistency. You start strong, then slow down when routine replaces excitement. You commit passionately, then withdraw quietly when it becomes demanding. Purpose is not sustained by passion alone. It is sustained by perseverance. What you feel today cannot be the foundation of what you are building for tomorrow. I am calling you to mature. Maturity is not about age. It is about responsibility. It is about doing what is required even when it is not celebrated. It is about choosing what is right even when it costs you something. It is about staying committed when the emotional reward is delayed. You keep measuring your life by what others are doing, and that comparison is blinding you. I did not design you as a copy. Your pace is different. Your assignment is different. Your training is different. When you look sideways too much, you lose sight of what is in front of you. Focus is not optional in this season. It is essential. Time is moving faster than you think. Days are blending, years are passing, and you keep assuming there will be another chance to take obedience seriously. That assumption is dangerous. Not because I am cruel, but because life is dynamic. Windows open and close. Seasons overlap and then shift. What was available yesterday may not be available tomorrow in the same form. That is why I'm speaking with urgency now. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. I want you to understand the weight of the moment you are in. This is not a random phase. This is a defining transition. What you choose now will shape the direction of your next season. You are not called to rush blindly, but you are called to move decisively. Indecision has cost you enough already. Every time you refuse to decide, you allow circumstances to decide for you. And circumstances do not care about your calling. I am asking you to return to the basics you neglected. Integrity. Discipline. Consistent prayer, not emotional prayer. Listening, not just speaking. Obedience in private, not just declarations in public. These are not dramatic instructions, but they are powerful ones. Kingdom impact is built quietly before it is seen publicly. You want big changes, but you resist small corrections. Yet small corrections prevent big collapses. I correct you because I see where you are going. I discipline you because I am invested in your future. If I did not care, I would let you drift until damage became irreversible. My child, do not confuse conviction with condemnation. Condemnation pushes you away from me. Conviction draws you closer. What you feel now is not rejection, it is invitation. An invitation to realign, to recommit, to reset your priorities. The door is still open, but it will not remain open indefinitely. Grace is abundant, but it is not permission to delay endlessly. Respond now while your heart is still sensitive. Respond now while your spirit still recognizes my voice. Respond now before excuses harden into habits. I am not asking you to fix everything at once. I am asking you to start. Start with honesty. Start with surrender. Start with obedience in the one thing you have been avoiding. Momentum begins with a single aligned step. If you move, I will meet you. If you obey, I will guide you. If you trust, I will strengthen you. But I will not chase you forever while you keep running in circles. I have called you higher, and higher ground requires intentional climbing. Choose now, not emotionally, but deliberately. Not out of fear, but out of understanding. Not because time is running out, but because purpose is calling. I am still here. I am still speaking. But this moment requires your response. Listen to me with discernment now, because what I am about to reveal is not hidden from you anymore. The enemy you keep underestimating is not always loud, violent, or obvious. Most of the time, Satan does not come to destroy you openly. He comes to distract you quietly. He understands that if he cannot stop your destiny, he can delay it. If he cannot destroy your calling, he can dilute your focus. And if he cannot silence my voice, he can fill your life with so much noise that you no longer recognize it. My child, Satan does not need you to fall into great sin to neutralize you. He only needs you to stay busy without direction. He only needs you occupied without purpose. He only needs you entertained enough to forget why you were created. That is why so many of my children are exhausted yet unfulfilled, active yet unproductive, moving yet going nowhere. You confuse movement with progress, but I tell you now, not every movement leads forward. He keeps you engaged in unnecessary activities because he knows time is the one resource you can never recover. You think you are just passing time, but time is passing you. You think you are just relaxing, just scrolling, just observing, just waiting for the right moment, but those moments stack up into years, and suddenly you wonder where your passion went, where your hunger went, where your fire went. It was not taken in one day, it was drained slowly. Satan studies you, he watches your patterns. He knows what excites you, what comforts you, what distracts you, and what feeds your ego. He does not tempt you randomly, he tempts you strategically. He does not pull you away from me suddenly, he pulls you away gradually. One unnecessary commitment at a time, one harmless distraction at a time, one compromise of discipline at a time. You say you are tired, but much of your tiredness does not come from purpose. It comes from pointless labor. You invest energy into things that will never bear eternal fruit. You pour emotion into conversations that do not build you. You give attention to information that does not transform you. And then you come to me asking why you feel empty, why you feel stagnant, why you feel far. My presence has not moved, your focus has. The enemy knows that if he can keep you constantly stimulated, you will never sit still long enough to hear me. Silence threatens him. Stillness exposes him. That is why he fills your days with noise, your nights with restlessness, and your mind with endless thoughts that go nowhere. He keeps you reacting to everything, so you never intentionally respond to me. You were created to be led by my spirit, not driven by urgency. But Satan creates artificial urgency. He convinces you that everything needs immediate attention, that every message must be answered, every trend must be followed, every opinion must be formed. In doing so, he fragments your mind and weakens your discernment. A distracted mind cannot carry revelation. My child, unnecessary activities are not always sinful activities. That is what makes them dangerous. They appear harmless. They feel productive. They look acceptable. But they quietly consume the time and focus that should have been invested in growth, preparation, prayer, learning, and obedience. The enemy prefers distractions that look like responsibility, because you will defend them instead of questioning them. You tell yourself you will seek me later, serve me later, obey fully later, change later. Satan loves later. Later is his favorite word. Later keeps you comfortable today while stealing your tomorrow. later convinces you that delay has no cost. But every delay shapes who you become. You were called to be sharp, but distractions make you dull. You were called to be watchful, but unnecessary engagements make you careless. You were called to build, but constant busyness keeps you maintaining instead of advancing. Satan does not need to break you, he only needs to keep you busy enough that you never build what I assigned you. Look at how often you start something with conviction and abandon it without resistance. Look at how often you feel prompted to pray, to read, to change, to step out, and then you postpone it because something else feels more urgent. That interruption is not accidental. That inner nudge you ignore is not insignificant. Every ignored prompting weakens your sensitivity. I am not condemning you. I am exposing the strategy. Because once a strategy is exposed, it loses its power. Satan cannot force you, he can only influence you. He relies on your agreement. He relies on your consent to distraction. He relies on your willingness to trade purpose for comfort, calling for convenience, depth for entertainment. My child, remember this. What you repeatedly give your attention to will eventually shape your desires. And what shapes your desires will determine your direction. Satan understands this principle. That is why he targets your attention first. If he can control what you focus on, he can influence where you go. You wonder why spiritual things feel heavy sometimes. It is not because they are heavy, it is because your appetite has been trained elsewhere. When you feed constantly on shallow things, depth begins to feel demanding. When you live on noise, silence feels uncomfortable. When you are used to instant gratification, discipline feels like punishment. I created you with a purpose that requires clarity. Clarity requires focus. Focus requires boundaries, and boundaries require courage. Satan hates boundaries because boundaries protect destiny. That is why he tells you that saying no is unloving, that resting is laziness, that discipline is restriction, and that focus is obsession. You twist truth just enough to keep you confused. You keep asking me to remove the enemy, but I am asking you to remove agreement with him. You keep asking me to rebuke distraction, but I am asking you to discipline your life. I have already given you authority, but authority must be exercised. I will not override your will to rescue you from choices you refuse to confront. My child, not everything that demands your time deserves your time. Not everything that invites your energy deserves your energy. Not everything that feels urgent is important. Discernment is not about knowing good from evil only. It is about knowing what is necessary from what is unnecessary. Satan will gladly allow you to do good things if it keeps you from doing the right thing. He will let you serve everywhere except where I called you. He will let you speak about me without ever sitting with me. He will let you be active in religion while absent in relationship. You were never meant to be scattered. Scattered lives produce scattered results. I am calling you back to intentional living, to purposeful choices, to disciplined rhythms, to moments of withdrawal from noise so you can realign with me. You feel the inner warning because my spirit is still active in you. That restlessness is not anxiety. It is alignment calling you back. That dissatisfaction is not failure. It is awakening. Do not silence it with entertainment. Do not numb it with activity. Let it lead you back to truth. My child, Satan is not afraid of your talent. He is afraid of your obedience. He is not threatened by your gifts alone. He is threatened by your discipline. A gifted but distracted believer is harmless. A focused, obedient believer is dangerous to his kingdom. That is why he works so hard to keep you tired, preoccupied, offended, and emotionally drained. Emotional exhaustion lowers spiritual resistance. When you are constantly reacting emotionally, you stop discerning spiritually. I am calling you to slow down, not to fall behind, but to realign. Slow down enough to evaluate what truly matters. Slow down enough to cut off what drains you. Slow down enough to hear me again without interruption. Do not be deceived into thinking you have time to waste. Life is not short because of years alone. It is short because of distraction. Many finish life without finishing their assignment, not because they were incapable, but because they were unfocused. I want you to reclaim your attention. I want you to reclaim your thoughts. I want you to reclaim your thoughts. I want you to reclaim your priorities. This is warfare you win daily, not dramatically. Victory comes through small, consistent decisions. Choose what feeds your spirit, not just what entertains your mind. Choose what builds your future, not just what comforts your present. Choose obedience even when distraction feels easier. Satan's greatest lie is making you believe you are still on track while slowly moving you off course. A small deviation today becomes a great distance tomorrow. Course correction now is mercy. I am not asking you to abandon responsibilities. I am asking you to abandon distractions. I am not asking you to isolate. I am asking you to prioritize. I am not asking you to become extreme. I am asking you to become intentional. Return to what I ask you to do first. Return to the discipline you delayed. Return to the hunger you allowed to fade. Return to me not with guilt, but with focus. If you remove unnecessary activities, you will regain clarity. If you regain clarity, you will rediscover purpose. If you walk in purpose, you will experience fulfillment. And fulfillment will silence the enemy's voice. I am still calling you. I am still guiding you. I am still patient. But this season demands awareness. Do not let distraction steal what obedience can still build. Be alert. Be intentional. Be disciplined.